Hey guys, and welcome to Game 3 of KT Rolster versus 3.Estro. This is going to be a game between 8.15 and Classic. 8.15 is going to be the Zerg player, going to be representing KT Rolster, and Classic is a relative newcomer playing Terran. But so far he's been doing pretty well. I mean, he's not even out of his first 10 games, I don't think, so it's not like, you know, by pretty well I don't mean, oh my god, he's the next thing. What? Seriously. I want to say he's lost maybe one game so far, so this is a guy you might want to look for. He'll probably end up being one of the ones that comes out, does really well for a couple of games, and then is forgotten and fades into obscurity, kind of like Violet, who we were just watching. But still, hey, you know, if we can see if this is the next Flash coming along, then hey, he's in a prime position to be, because he's practicing with. No, he's not. I was going to say he's practicing with the real Flash, but no, 8.15 is on KT Rolster. So no, he's not. My bad. We do have, this is on Roadrunner. It is the third map of the series, and like I said, they're all tied up, so whoever wins this game is going to be putting a lot of pressure on the other team. And honestly, 3.Estro really wants to win this game. So I'm rooting for Classic, because if KT wins this game and they haven't used Flash yet, that pretty much ends it. I mean, maybe there's a few people on 3.Estro that can beat Flash, but honestly, it would be an upset. And so, if Classic wins, I expect Flash to come out in Game 4, and we go into an ace match. If KT wins, then it may end in Game 4, unless, you know, 3.Estro or KT decide to be denied and not send out Flash, but, you know, this is Pro League. How often are you not in Pro League, really? So, we do have 8.15 coming out for a pretty dang early hatchery. Trying to expand here pretty quick. Meanwhile, while he's going for a hatchery, he's also scouting. Well, I won't say he's scouting pretty hard. He's sending out a scout. And of course, he's got his Overlord out there. And then, what is Classic doing? That's actually a weird name. I don't know why you would, you know, come into StarCraft, kind of start late. I mean, like I said, in his first 10 games, why do you name yourself Classic when you haven't played before? You know, that would be like if Coca-Cola Classic was the original, you know? Coca-Cola Classic is called Classic because they tried to make a new Coke and everyone hated it. You don't... It's sort of like how World War I was not called World War I until there was a second one. You don't name something World War I to begin with. Okay, but anyway, enough about the quasi-stupidity of Classic's name. We do have a... pair of barracks going down. We got a Marine coming out, so surprisingly, he's going Marines and medics against Zerg. Actually, I shouldn't be so, you know, there are some mech builds that work against Zerg. Would be really surprising if you went medic Marine against Protoss. That would be, oh my god! Or against Terran, for that matter. You know, you don't do it against those two races because of Reavers and Siege Tanks. They just go kablamo and your infantry is dead. Sad infantry. But it looks like Classic has gone ahead. He has not expanded as quickly as 8.15 has. 8.15's already got a hatchery out and is starting to saturate it. Classic does not have a second base up, but he... Oh wow, actually, I was wrong about that. I thought that was another barracks, but no, he's going factory. So, that is pretty darn surprising, actually. I was not expecting that. As you guys can probably tell, you're like, hey, the commentator's surprised. Yes, I am. I'm human too, but once again, hey, further proof I do not watch these before I actually cast them. Although, I will admit, I watched a little bit of Game 4 because Nevaki had them listed in the wrong order, and I'm all coming up here, I'm like, this is Game 3, and then it comes up the top and has, you know, a 2 next to one of the teams. I'm not going to say which team, because I don't remember. But I did notice the 2, and I'm like, whoa, wait, this is Game 4. My bad. So, had to stop for a second, come back here, and it looks like Classic is going to go ahead and start expanding now. Although 8.15 is all over. He's got an Overlord looking right over that expansion. So, no surprises there. There is a starport coming up, though, and so if Classic makes a single Wraith, he can at least pick off that Overlord with relative immunity. Not a Spire up yet, so he's going to have some Overlord hunting time. Because I don't believe I saw a Hydralisk in either. In fact, I'm almost sure I didn't see a Hydralisk in. The question is going to be whether or not my failure to see a Hydralisk in is because there's not one. Yeah, there's one. There it is. I found it. Price is averted, guys. I found the Hydralisk in. So it looks like 8.15 is going to kind of go for a dual build. He has a Spire and he has a Hydralisk in. That way he can go for either Lurkers or Muta. He'll probably go for Muta first and then follow it up with immediate Lurkers. But, you know, it kind of depends. I've only seen one barracks so far. So, and it does look like he's going to make that one Wraith in order to hit some Overlords before the other units Get in the way. Sorry, I have a sudden urge to yawn. I was trying to stifle. I was like, no, I'm casting. Don't yawn. Bad vocal cords. Or what makes you yawn? I don't know. And there's that Wraith going in. Wraith's going to do some harassment, but here's a Hydralisk scurrying up here. The Wraith says, "Oh, this is not the fight for me." So he's going to run around. Is that the same Wraith or is that a different Wraith? It jumped, and so the Wraith like went from the top to the bottom, but I think it's the same one. And there's some Overlords kind of running around. All right, he picks off one drone, and now he better get his little Wraithy butt out of there. Wraithy butt. Trying to see if you can find the Overlords. There are some Overlords to find, buddy. You just gotta kind of go for the middle. That's what right now he's just sort of flying around, seeing if he can find anything to pick off. Because he is king of the sky for another couple of seconds. It doesn't look like he's going to find the Overlords, though, and that makes me sad. This actually reminds me there was a game recently where I picked off every single Overlord. It was sweet. I didn't have a main anymore, but I took out all the Overlords, and that let my ally win. Because it was a 2v2 game, because I'm not good enough for 1v1. Kind of sad. Okay, and we do have the factory. The factory has a machine shop, and looks like we're going for dropships now, or possibly science vessels. Could be either one. If he saw the Spire, he may be going for science vessels. And there are the Mutalisks. So, better get those turrets up, buddy. He does have 2 turrets up, he's getting a 3rd, so he should be okay. And those mutas are not going to have any easy pickings. They will be able to take out some things because it's pretty well impossible to keep mutas from taking out something. But he really, if he can find the science vessel, he can do a lot of damage. Science vessel is kind of hiding there behind the mineral line, and I don't see a lot of scroll down a bit. Good job. No, you jumped, damn it. I was going to say, I want to see if there's more turrets down towards the bottom, because I only saw the one next to the mineral line, and one will not do a whole lot. But yeah, he does have mutas, he's going in, seeing, but he can harass. The answer is he can't harass much, and oh, the Scourge took out the science vessel. I shouldn't say that so sing-songy, but that is kind of a blow to Classic. Classic will not be able to do a whole lot of his classic maneuvers without a science vessel. I still think that's a dumb name. You know, maybe I'm being too hard on him, but seriously, you don't pick Classic whenever you're just starting. And the Academy is coming up really late, so up until now it was actually a valid question of what he was going, and Classic may be in trouble here. 815 may be taking this for KT, which would mean, you know, Flash is ready to clean it up next game. Again, unless they choose not to field Flash, but I can't, you know, when you have a chance to win, I don't know why you'd give it up. Sometimes you want to field someone because you know, but it's weird. I don't know. I don't know why you push it to an ace match if you didn't have to. Although, granted, they've got Flash for the ace match, so who knows? I don't know. Okay, so we've got Lurkers coming in. Lurkers are pounding that. Oh, and the Lurkers are in the perfect position too. The Lurkers are just the Lurkers were hitting both the SCV that was repairing and the bunker itself. He does have a science vessel, so the Lurkers are under fire, but the Zerglings were able to come in. He was able to push the, you know, defenders back far enough that he's just having a hard time defending himself. Looks like that factory is going to go down, and once it does, those Zerglings are going to come streaming in like so many hotcakes. In case you didn't know, hotcakes stream, at least in my world. I don't know why. Probably because I'm a horrible, horrible chef. That's my theory, anyway. And there's a floating barracks. That barracks is going to blow up here in a second because it was down in the red. So it's a flying, burning building. So he is breached. However, he does have some fire bats out, and that's going to be bad news for those Zerglings. Zerglings don't like fire. Pretty much nothing in this game likes fire. Fire bats, you know, like fire when they're the ones shooting it. They don't so much like it when someone else is using, but still. Okay, so we've got his front door is breached. He's able to get into the base, but so far he hasn't done a huge amount of economic damage. Although there's the liftoff, so there's the economic damage right there. He's kind of contained him to one base now. So right now, 815 and KT are in a pretty dominant position. Maybe Classic can pull this out, although maybe this is going to, you know, ruin Classic's streak and put him up to 2 losses. Oh no! 2 losses, end of the world! Okay, so, and it does look like 815, well, 815 has 4 bases now. 4 base Zerg against 1 base Terran means bad news for Terran. That's the way that matchup works, in case anyone was wondering. 1 base Terran can do pretty much nothing. And dude, Wraith, you just passed 2 Overlords. Go back and kill them. That is a lazy Wraith. Now we're going to see some Boxer-esque drops, just to see if, you know, he can turn this game around. And actually, I've seen it happen. Not really with Boxer recently, but Quasi recently, Flash had a really great couple of games, where, actually it was the finals, and he ended up, he was really losing, and he did an amazing drop, or a series of drops, and just completely turned the game around. So, I'm not saying Classic is Flash, but I am saying that drops can certainly turn the game around. You better watch that Wraith, watch the Wraith, watch the boom. Watch the Wraith get killed. That's what that was. So here comes the drop ship, it's driving along. I don't know why it's driving since it's in the air, because the dropship pilot is not very good. And this is not a very saturated place. But you are at least going to be able to take out the hatchery and sort of start to deny mining again.